All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Creator, for this opportunity. Once again, you've given me an opportunity to try to be a light, to try to do my part, to try to minister, to try to be about your will. Thank you, Creator, for this opportunity. Truly, this is a hell of an opportunity to try to know, to hear, to obey, to listen to your voice, and just try to be about your will. So, brethren, thank you for joining me. My name is Shaikwab Ben Yisrael. Welcome to my channel where I absolutely love I like to talk about the Creator. I like to share His word. I like to try to share anything that I think is good. I mean, we live in a reality where you don't really need no help. The screen's going messed up here. Nobody don't really need no help, so far as something to come along and to afflict your spirit. One thing that's certainly true is we don't need no help in this reality. We live at a time where the false gods, they still have power. They're still able to afflict the faithists. The OAHSPE, it says that they're going to do it till their dying breath. The false gods that we're under. In my understanding, you read the OAHSPE Bible, and I guess I should share. The OAHSPE Bible is not very well known. It's something that is recently. Hey, Mahalia, sister, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Good to see you. How's my cancer doing today? I hope that you are in what's a good thing to say to cancers? I hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling good, sis. Man, everybody's beating Elijah sub into the room all of a sudden. Man. So anyway, my room, my channel, I believe I'm somebody who all right, you got some work done. Okay. All right. When's the full moon this month? I think it was the 4th already. Or is it the 24th? Oh, well, the new moon. But anyway, my channel, I believe that the Creator, He is giving me a spirit where I like to read His word, to be able to attain to hear His voice. I seem to realize that there are other brethren such as myself that He's just allowed us. And I have to admit, I do have to admit that I do believe that faithists are a diamond in the rough. I think that they're a needle in the haystack. I really do believe that. I believe when I read the OAHSPE, it says the same thing. I remember there's one verse in the OAHSPE where it says that the angels was reporting back to one of the Ethereal gods, and they were saying that the earth was like he was describing it like a garden. And you know how you don't even have to do anything, and the weeds, they just come out of nowhere and sprout, and they're more prolific. Matter of fact, I should try to find that. I think if I type in that word prolific, the verse that I'm looking for, it's going to come up. So let me try to find it. Let me try to share it. Okay, you say you don't know, Mahalia? All right. I think it's around the end of the month, the new moon. It really affects you. Water does it. I know the moon is Cancer's planet. And do you experience some changes around the new moon, Mahalia? Is that really true? Can you feel it? The new moon, does it have something? Does it do something to your vibration? Have you noticed? I think with water signs, I think the The new moon, I think it probably affects them more than the other signs. The new moon, I know the Creator says to acknowledge it. So let me do a word study to find out this verse where the Creator, he talks about, he likens the earth to it's kind of like an untilled garden. And I remember this word that's used to describe the account that I'm trying to look for. Telling us about our reality, the situation we're in. How we's really going to have to go against the tide. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. I'm purpose to try to keep up with the new moon nowadays because the Creator, he talks about acknowledging it. I want to do it. I haven't been doing it very, yeah, me too. I want to acknowledge it. I keep forgetting though. Let me see. Now, let me look for this verse where I thought it was interesting. And it was talking about the situation. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. This book is the book of synopsis. Okay, synopsis. Now, I'm jumping in the middle of a thought here. Now, I'm talking about the earth. I'm talking about our situation as faith is where we are. And it says in chapter 9, chapter 3 here, it says, Sutlu spoke first, saying, "O Jehovah, I have heard, I have seen." Now, to try to give a little context, let me read in the verse above. It says, 16 times my ethereal hosts have redeemed the earth. Ain't that something? Listen to that. Creator, he says, his ethereal hosts, they've redeemed the earth 16 times. Had to bring it back from its fall 16 times. But when you look around, you can see why they have to keep delivering us, can't you? It says, my ethereal hosts have redeemed the earth and her heavens 16 times, my ethereal host. The high-raised beings, the highly enlightened ones, my ethereal hosts, have redeemed the earth and her heavens from darkness into light. And yet, before the end of a cycle, she falls again. You know, in the cycle, like 3,000 years. And her atmosphere, that's the heavens and the earth. That's the heavens above the earth. Earth and atmosphere, they fall again, you know. It says, and now her heavens are again filled with billions of spirits who do not know my emancipated worlds. Speak, O God and goddesses. So here's a report. The angel is, or the Creator is saying he's had to redeem the earth 16 times from darkness to light. And now is saying that the heavens, the atmosphere above the earth, it says there are billions of spirits and they do not know the Creator. You wonder, how can that be? And it says, in my emancipated worlds, that's the Ethereans, or I'm sorry, it says that there are billions of spirits. I mean, in our, situation, we think, how can that possibly be? You know what I mean? How can it possibly be that you crossed over, you're in the spirit and you know nothing about the Creator? Why don't it cross your mind? I need help with that. The Creator, he says, they do not know me and they do not know his emancipated worlds. Speak, O gods and goddesses. Now, I perceive that that's the danger of not being able to, that's the danger of where we are right now, because it's like that verse that I was reading the other day where it talks about take advantage of this. I'm paraphrasing. It says, take advantage of this reality. Take advantage, brethren. If somebody can hear me, man, take advantage of this reality. Take advantage of, see, I'm going off, man. I'm gonna get, but I have to get rolling. I have to go with what the I believe the Creator has given me. So I'm gonna go with it. And today I decided to take a drive. I hadn't been out of the apartment in a while. And so I went on ahead and took a drive. I just took a drive so I could think and reflect, just commune with the Creator, man. Just ask, search my mind, ask myself all kinds of questions. And when you out there, you just driving like that and you just thinking. One of the questions that came to my mind was the thing that always crosses my mind. There's a lot of people in the world, and I sometimes say to myself, Creator, are you serious? Are you for real? Do you mean the world, the earth is that strong that it's hard to find somebody who can speak according to, I'm referring to how you are moving, you can talk to a faithist and they can tell you how the Creator is moving. But you go in the world, like I went for a drive, right? And then somebody crossed my mind. It was a guy that in 1979, my mom let me come out to stay with my uncle in Oakland, California, right? And that's when I got bit with the West Coast bug. And I knew in my soul that when I broke free of high school, I was going to come out to the West Coast and live here. And I came out, stayed out here for a little while, couldn't afford it, had to leave, ended up coming back. Long story short. And while I was out here the first time in 1979, I would just go outside of my uncle's his house there, him and his wife. And I was so captivated by the hills, California. I was so captivated. I would just sit out there all day and just look. It had like it had a flavor that I just couldn't get enough of out here. And I would just sit on the steps and just look. I would look and just look and look and look. And then this one guy, he came over and he struck up a friendship with me. Now, if that guy had not died young, he was like 16 or 17, same age as me. If he hadn't died young, he would have certainly been in the pros as a basketball player. He would have certainly been in the pros, certainly, without a shadow of a doubt. And he was just as nice as could be. And for the whole time I was out here, all he did was me and him we just hung out with each other. And I think because his environment was, it was kind of corrupt. You know what I mean? So I was driving and I thought about that guy and I wanted to go and refresh the memory. So I drove to his house, just to, be a part of where he used to be. And there was a neighbor out there and the neighbor knew him. So we started talking. The neighbor was barbecuing. And so he started recounting everything he knew about the brother. And lo and behold, you know how when God he inevitably comes up, right? I mean, at some point you're talking to somebody. Somebody is going to bring up God. You know that? And somebody, it's going to happen, right? Especially Hebrews, Negroes. God is always going to come up, man. Brother was out there, he was barbecuing, having a fat old time, in the neighborhood Friday, we got to talking and real nice brother, and telling me everything, helping me to refresh my memory about Kevin Govain. And I was, even though I was waiting on him, I sat there and I waited on him because I knew it was going to come around to God, right? I knew it. And then he brought him up and I didn't say anything. I just kept my mouth shut. I didn't say nothing. It's part of my new covenant with myself. It's part of my new covenant. I'm just not going to strike up conversations about the OAHSPE unless, somebody's got to pretty much force it out of me now. Although my flesh started screaming. Now, the reason I'm bringing all this up, okay, the man was under a tremendous blessing. He was under a tremendous blessing. But I knew not to start talking to him because I've talked to too many brethren like him before, and he kind of forced it out of me. I said, yeah, I like to do videos. I do videos talking about the, OAHSPE. And I was hoping he would start plugging away at me. But you know how people do it. Oh, they start, all for it, agreeing with everything. And I was going to see if he's going to start digging at me to see if I was genuine. And he didn't. And I held my peace. And the whole thing that I started thinking, I said, the pull of the earth, he's satisfied. He's retired. He lives in a nice area. He's got everything he wants. There's no vibration coming out. And you don't want to judge people like that. You wish you could tell them that, man, hey, it gets even better than this. Your situation, my screen, did it die? Oh no, it's still going. I was dying to tell him, hey, bro, you know what? It gets way better than this. The Creator, you think you got something now? Brother, you ain't seen nothing. My spirit was dying to tell him that. But I just held my peace, And it's like that with the world. That's what got me. I was already thinking along those lines before I even met the guy today. There are billions of spirits, verse 6. There are billions of spirits who do not know me. And that's in his emancipated, they do not know the Creator or his emancipated worlds. And I kept talking with that brother and I was listening to him, and I just couldn't stop myself from saying, man, he was a Christian, and I wanted to tell him, I wanted to talk to him, and I just would not let myself do it. Ever since this situation with my cousin, I said, I'm changing. I am changing. I ain't never going to get in that situation again unless you're going to have to pull it out of me. I know a brother or sister would say, man, you shouldn't be that way. But it's a matter of survival for me to be that way. It's a shame. I think that when you get older, the older you get, man, the world, I think if you let it can beat the light out of you. They can beat it out of you. And I don't want that to happen to me. So, but if somebody want it, I'll certainly give it to them. But it'll manifest if they want it. And so verse 7, it says, Luz spoke first. Now, back to the situation where I pointed to this, this verse. We're in a situation. Faith is, brethren, we're in a situation. I think about it all the time. And it basically what I'm saying, we are seriously outnumbered. And it's for real. And this verse addresses it. It says, Luz spoke first. It says, saying, O Jehovah, I have heard, I have seen. Too prolific is the earth and the young daughter of heaven. Too prolific is the red star of the firmament. Now, the red star is the earth where we are. My audience says, your spirit will let you know when. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. That's the vibration I'm under now. I ain't going to force the OAHSPE on nobody, That verse keep coming to my mind where I don't like to call people swine. That goes against my vibration. But the verse says, don't throw your pearls before swine. I've seen it happen too many times. It's true. It says that they will trample your pearls underneath their feet. In the Bible, remember that verse? It said they'll trample your pearls underneath their feet. And then they will turn around and finish the job, which means they come after you. And I've seen that too many times in my life. And I'm just at that point now where, I'm going to hold my peace and pray that if somebody make it to where they want to know, I will open the floodgates. But I think it's wisdom, well, for me to hold your peace, because this world ain't friendly to the Creator. That's what this verse is saying. It's talking about how prolific is the red star. The red star, that's the earth. The red star is the earth. And he's saying it's too prolific, and the darkness outnumbers the light. It outnumbers it, man. Verse 8, next spoke Kawaha, saying, you have spoken, O Jehovah. The rich earth is too prolific, O Father. Listen to this. It say her mortals are overpowered by her atmospherian hosts, meaning the false gods. They send their mortals back, correct me if I'm wrong, and they influence people here on this earth. Mortals who go into captivity. Mortals who are under religion. Do you know they come back and influence, and they influence the mortals here on the earth to get them to subscribe to the false god they have come into captivity to. It says, her mortals, let me read it again, verse 8. It says, next spoke Kawaha, saying, you have spoken, O Jehovah. The rich earth is too prolific, O Father. Her mortals are overpowered by her atmospherian hosts. See that? Her people build up cities and nations for a season after dawn. But soon they are flooded over by Fetals and Druges. And the mortals devour one another like beasts of prey. And it's talking about the situation that we're in right now. And then I think somebody else, another God, he's testifying. He says, verse 9, Chi-Jong said, talking about the red star, talking about earth. It says, her people have tilled the soil of the earth. Look at this. And covered it over with cities. But where are they? Her people have learned in the matters of heaven and earth, but their knowledge is dissipated by the dread hand of war. This is talking about where we live. We're surrounded by this situation. These mortals are under one category or another. That's what he's giving us there. He's talking about a character. Do you know this account here? Correct me if I'm wrong, man. For real. He characterizing I believe he's talking about the present era where we are right now. This is a characterization of the age we live in. You see it everywhere, man. The Creator, it's like he letting you know, like, hey, I know where you live, man, but you just endure this thing because I'm going to make it up to you. You know good and well in your heart that I put a vibration on you in your soul saying, I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to make, that's what, may I say this? One time I had a girlfriend, right? And one thing I knew about her, is that she was going to make it up to me. She had this type of flavor on her. And I think women are like this. There are some women, I think the majority of women are like this. I think you brothers know that they have this vibration on them, like, I'm going to make it up to you. And I ain't always talking about sexually. That's part of it, but it don't just end there. When you do something nice for them, you show a little tenderness, some kindness, they give off a vibration that says, I'm remembering what you're doing, and I'm going to make it up to you. And that comes from the Creator. See? And he's saying, I know, if it's one thing I know, he says, I'm going to make it up to you. You see there? Even the Bible says so. So we need to know that so we can keep going through the current vexation and affliction. We need to know, man, in the back of your mind that you know the Creator is keeping he's keeping a record book. I put this on her. I put this on him. And the brother, the sister, they just kept on marching. They didn't raise their head up, start rebelling against me. They just took it. The sister took it like a man. The brother took it like a man. He knew what was up, and he just kept his head down and he kept walking. See? And in your heart of hearts, man, the Creator is saying, he keep telling you, I'm going to make it up to you. I know what happened. I seen it. I heard it. Like that verse, remember we read the other day? The one where I posted in the room, it said something like, don't trip on the corruption in the world. How you work and you get robbed of your wages. That's the American way. You will get robbed. All right. Just get used to it. The Creator said, I seen it. I know. Pray for them. Don't look down on them. You know what's going to happen. You know that in the end, not to describe the Creator as getting the laugh, because I don't see where he likes it when his children, when they do things that are detrimental to your own self. You doing it to your own self. And then that verse we read yesterday, it said the Creator said, I keep records, and if you don't pay it back now, meaning you repent and turn, you're going to pay it back later. And it talked about the kings and the emperors and those in authority. And it made me immediately think of Congress. It immediately made me think of Congress of the United States, man. And how the people when the government don't serve the people, the Creator says that government must go. It must go, man. He gave man the idea of government, and with the purpose of serving the people, but when they serve themselves, the Creator say, you got to go. You got to go, man. I created the earth to be a paradise. It's far from that now. Verse 9, Chi John, he chimes in. He chimes in and says, her people, talking about the red star earth, it says, her people tilled all the soil of the earth and covered it over with cities. But where are they? Her people have been learned in the matters of heaven and earth, but their knowledge is dissipated by the dread hand of war. Is that not talking about where we are right now? Building all kinds of spaceships. Building all kinds of spaceships. Talking about going to Mars. Still don't know anything about the Creator. Don't know nothing about him. The dread hand of war. The dread hand of war takes the place of what should be higher knowledge. The dread hand of war, man. We should get it by now that actually, if you want to bring about the best possible government, you know what? Take away money. Take it away. Just take it away, man. Everybody, every single person has got a gift. Some can work. Some can administrate, I mean, there can certainly be an equal division of labor, but that'll never fly in the world. You know what I mean? The Creator said that's his kingdom. He said that's his kingdom, man, whether you like it or not. That's the only kingdom that can perpetuate. It can self-perpetuate, you know. You got a brother, you know, he's married, he got a family, he need to take care of them. You got a farmer, he says, are you a little low on groceries? Creator told me you was a little low on groceries for this week. Well, come over and I got some boxes of food that I want you to have. And then that same brother turns around and he says, hey man, you know, I'm pretty good at construction. You know, you see how it works? That's the kingdom of God. Even when you read in the book of Acts, and it was talking about the Essenes, I think it was talking about the Essenes. I think it was the Essenes, and they were living in communities. I mean, you brethren already know all these things, you know, how we going to do for each other. That's the only way that we can make it work. That's the only way, man. We have to be a community of men and women, and you just have to remove money, because with money comes with a vibration. There's always going to be someone who's going to want to hoard it. You know, I mean, that's just one thing. It says, verse 10, Dehuity said, her people, talking about the earth, the red star, her people become wise in a day, but on the next, they are fools. On the next day, they are fools. It says one generation becomes skilled in books and in knowledge of the sun, moon, and stars, and in the mathematics of corporal things, but a generation follows, and lo, her people are cannibals again. See? This is a characterization of where you brethren are right now. And again, man, I talked to that brother. He was the brother who I talked to today. He's blessed. And that's good enough for him. And he spoke like a Christian. And unless the OAHSPE is a lie, he has to go to his God, Luamong. And I had to sit there and watch that, because I've made a covenant with myself. I'm not bringing out the OAHSPE again. I'm just not going to do it. I think other brethren, they act the same way. They don't go trying to force it on people. And I'm going to be like them. I've learned my lesson. But I was sorry for the brother, because he was just set up, man. You know, he didn't have a problem in the world. He was retired, 35 years, had sons and daughters. They were set up, and, you know, God is good, he kept saying. God is good, man, you know. Then verse 11, Galson said, I have heard, O Jehovah. I have witnessed, O Father. The red star is too prolific. She is like a garden, too rich. Her products are overgrown. They fall down and doubly enrich the soil again, to reproduce an imperfect giant stalk that is barren. So are her sons and daughters. They all run to earthly substances. You know, and all these type of things just kept coming to my mind talking to that brother. He was set up all the way around. He was retired, the brother, stable income, lives in a beautiful area. He was under Luamong. Under Luamong. In this day and age, you can't go talking to a brother. And I say this hoping I'm wrong, man. You know, you can't go talking to a set up brother, meaning he's got, you know, the brother has got his, you know what I mean? Materialism, you know, when he's set up, and he don't want to hear nobody coming along talking about I mean, even when you come along wanting to share that, hey man, if you think this is something, you ain't seen nothing yet, you know, because I surely have some smoke for you if you want it. You know, I can give you some smoke, you know, I can give you some spiritual smoke, man, you know. You know, you remember the account in the OAHSPE? Who was it that told that king? He said, carry the alms. He said, get rid of everything you got and carry the alms bowl for a year. Get rid of everything. He said, do you want to be blessed? He said, sell your kingdom, man. Carry the alms bowl for a year, you know, dealing with the poor. Now we can't see that in this reality. We can't, man, you know, because the flesh is too good. You know, we've been taught to love the flesh, meaning we've been taught to love ourselves. You know, we haven't been, we're not selfless. And I have to be honest, you know, I didn't think to want to say this. I'm going to say this hoping that some faithists can use what I'm getting ready to say. I told myself, don't say what he did. I was telling myself, don't say it. Do not share this. Okay. Bible says, or OAHSPE says, don't share the evil report. Now I'm going to share this. I consider it to be, it's not really evil, but it shows you, let me say it like this. A faithist wouldn't do this. What I'm going to tell you, a faithist won't do it. Now, he had a big old barbecue pit. It was full of meat. It was full of, the guy obviously was barbecuing for an occasion. Is today a holiday? I don't know if today is some type of holiday. I don't know. But it was a big old, you know, he was set up. He was doing something, you know, probably family get together. And me and him talked for about a good hour, right? He didn't offer me a single piece of food, you know, not a single. Now, I wouldn't have accepted any anyway, you see, because I don't eat meat. And I thought to myself, we talked there, you know, and he ate in front of me. And it's cool. I don't care, you know, but I don't see how a faithist would do that. I can't see it, you know. And to be honest, I was hoping he would offer me, I was hoping he would offer me some food. Although I had just came back from eating. You know, Wiener Schnitzel, they've got those plant meat hot dogs. Yeah. There's some establishments, they sell vegan food. They sell, and I'm telling you, man, if you close your eyes, you can make it off of meat. You can make it, brethren. I know I was a champion meat eater. You know, you could not top Yai Kwa, man. If my brother's in the room, he'll tell you. Legend has it that I once ate 4 hot dogs in 2 seconds. Now, my brother's, if he's in the room, he might testify that that's true. You know, told me about dad, bought me some food. He said he turned around and he said the hot dogs were gone, Chuck, or somebody. He said they were gone. Okay, but you get my drift. There's some things, it's, you know, hey, it's very hard for people to break that habit, man. I don't look down on them. I don't. But I'm saying that it can be done. There are still things I do I know I shouldn't do because I can't help myself. See, I haven't gotten there yet. I know that that's how it is with faithists. That's just one of the things I can do, you know. I know there are many things I still do wrong. So it teaches you don't look down on anybody else. But the Creator, he says, for spirituality's sake, I'm asking you to do this. So to get back, man, make a long story short, he didn't offer me anything, you know. He kept walking around, God is good, because his life is blessed. And he didn't offer me any food at all. And I wanted him to desperately to offer me so I could say, brother, I don't eat meat, man, which would probably lead him to say, you don't? Why not, man? And then see, there's my open door. I can gently, very politely, tenderly introduce the will of the Creator. See, but he didn't bite. He would not bite. See, Mahalia says, hospitality hardly exists anymore. Yeah. I know that wouldn't happen with a faithist. I'm sorry. It won't even really happen with a Christian, with many Christians. You know what I mean? Mahalia says, I'm 68. Remember how the elders treat. Yes. Now I'm with you. See? I believe my mom, that she helped me to be that way. I think she helped me to be that way, because she was under this vibration of helping people. She didn't talk about it. She did it. I remember she used to make me mow the neighbor's lawn. Yeah, Chuck, if you listen, Mr. Youngblood, she was like that. She was, a Capricorn. They're charged with carrying the whole neighborhood anyway. We used to have to, hey, Chuck, if you in the room, remember how we used to have to shovel that snow? Shovel his snow? Or we lived on a hill. We lived on a hill growing up, and it would snow, and sometimes we didn't we didn't have to help anybody, but we did to get up the hill. At least I remember doing it. Having to help them get up the hill. You remember that, Chuck, if you're listening? When it snowed? Yeah, Mahalia, I'm with you there. I don't know. I think that it was a cultural type of thing, meaning I really believe that was like a strong Hebrew type of thing. I would go over to other neighbors' houses, and it's hard for me to recall a time where I wasn't offered something to eat. But we in this situation where the false gods, Christianity, I think people, they get real I think they get taught to be real they deceive themselves. The Creator, he wants you to consider your brother in all things. I think that's too hard to do for this world we live in. It's too hard to do, man, to be try to be a little. I read something where I think I can't remember what I read. Was it OAHSPE? It might have been somewhere in the OAHSPE where it talked about a poor priest, or it might have been some legend or myth or something. But it is a solid principle of a poor preacher who it said he was of more value to the community than the person who donated millions. I see a spiritual principle in that. The Creator doesn't want your money, really. He don't need your money. He's the one that gave it to you. But what he wants you to do is learn how to deal with your brother. And he cooked that food, he cooked it, and he had no vibration on him to even offer even a little drumstick or wing. Eric, if you're listening, man, you know what I'm saying is true. But hopefully you'll consider your ways. And next time that you get an opportunity, when you try to consider your brother, then the Creator is going to pay you back. He's going to pay you back. You know what I mean? Nobody can argue with me. You can't argue with me, man. You know it's true. Then verse 12 said, Luam said, Great Spirit, I have heard, I have seen. We gather the earth's harvest for you, O Jehovah, but they are small. He said, but they are small. See, this ain't a popular word I'm giving. I realize that. I know. But I ain't doing no harm. I know I'm telling the truth, man. I know I'm not trying to offend anybody. I know in my heart I'm not trying to do that, man. Because when brethren who make it, who can endure this reality, and when they win that crown, and people are saying, but what about me? You see what I'm saying? We're going to both really know the story in our heart. The world is going to know why faithists are in the position they in. They don't see it now, don't care, because you were faithists, there ain't no weekly paycheck. So, what do I have to do with you? But we got something in our heart that's going to drive us to the end, and we're trying to drag you along. But if it ain't your time, there ain't nothing we can do about it. But your time is going to come. And that's why, again, man, that verse I read the other day, the Creator said, hey, if you don't want to do it while you got money, you're going to do it when you ain't got no money. Now, this brings me to my second point. The Creator, he says, you could take 100. He said you could take, matter of fact, let's try to find that. Let me read the rest of this verse, okay? It says, we gather the earth's harvest of dark spirits, O Jehovah, and they are 10 times larger. He said, behold, there is no balance between them. Meaning, you faithists, man, you know what I mean? You are just surrounded, man. And then verse 13, it says, thus spoke the gods and goddesses till thousands of them had spoken. And after that, the voice of Jehovah spoke. So I'm not going to go into that. It says, though, you are blessed, my sons and daughters. How can you bequeath the administration of the earth and their heaven and earth born until she is made suitable as a gift from my hand? So I can't go into that. It's going to lead me somewhere else. You can read it if you want. This is what book is this? If you want to read it. It's the book of synopsis. Now, I want to show you where I want to say this again, man. I want to show you that verse again where the Creator, he warned, the thing that we ought to think about is faithists. The thing that, well, I can't speak for you, I want to show this again, man, because if we think that what we're involved in is a joke, you know what I mean? We should think about something like this. If you want to know what good is what you believe in and what you're doing, this is something we should think about. Let me see. Now, see, it's mentioned. Okay, I can't try to look for it. I did a word search. Oh, wait a minute. Put in money. Or no, that ain't going to help me either, because I'm looking for the verse where it says spirits could spend 100 or 1,000 years before they find the light after this reality. Do you know that? Do you think the Creator is serious? Am I misinterpreting that? Where he said that, remember that verse we talked about? He said you can do it with money or without money, meaning you can do it the easy way, and he calls this reality the easy way. It's less time, it's more help, you get more help. learning about the Creator and His kingdoms. We can help. We are in a situation where we are surrounded, but there's a benefit to being on the earth. There is a benefit, brother. If you can somehow find the light and subscribe to it and stay out of deception, the Creator is saying, brother, you are home free. You are home free, brother. But I probably won't be able to find that verse where it says you could spend 1,000 years in atmosphere in the first resurrection before you end up finding the knowledge. And the God who deceived you, it's going to be longer for them because they're the ones that got to get you out of there because they can't elevate until you come out, which is only fair. That's what the OAHSPE says. Do you know? I mean, I can't find it. Matter of fact, I think it's in my room. It's in my room. Let me try my room. Let me try my room. Where it mentions doing now with money. Do it with money. Come to the light now that you got money. Now, let me see. Let me share this screen here. Mahali says, I don't know where the verses are in the OAHSPE, but I did hear about wandering spirits in the first ascension. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to find it right now. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Where basically that verse, I think it's in Judgment, Book of Judgment. So you brethren who are faithless and you tired of being a faithless, you just like those people in Exodus who, they say, what good is it that we stopped eating meat? Where has it gotten us? And you come under that vibration. I want to give you something to think about, man. I want to give us something. We should think about this. And I want to emphasize the seriousness of it. Now, I'm not going to probably be able to find it, but I should go. See, it's time for the reading. I should go slow enough to where while I'm looking for it, at least if you want to read what I've got here, let me just scroll it. And if you want to read it, you can stop the video. But the verse where he says, some people, it says you don't realize it now, but you could spend 100 or 1,000 years in atmosphere in the spirit realm before you find out about the light, before you find out about higher heavens, Oh, Prince, brother, how you been, brother? It's good to see you, man. You probably know where that verse is at, where it talks about how spirits can spend 100 or 1,000 years in the first resurrection. You probably know where that's at. If you do, put it in the chat. Good to see you, though, bro. Here's something that I can address, I guess, on the screen. I asked AI a question. According to the OAHSPE Bible, is character important? Is character important? And you can read it. I don't. It's already time for the reading. So you can, if you want, you can stop the video. Yes, according to the OAHSPE Bible, character is extremely important because it's the only thing that'll go with you. Your character, your knowledge too. Yes, according to the OAHSPE Bible, character is extremely important. The text emphasizes journey towards spiritual freedom and the inherent responsibilities that come with it. It states that true understanding and self-judgment are vital, urging individuals to foster their relationship with the Creator and engage acts of righteousness, love, and good works. Now, the thing that I can't help but think in my mind, and it's the brother who he didn't offer me any food. I know that if I was an angel visitation or if I was something spiritual, you know what I mean? You know how my point is that people, they will treat differently something that they esteem is higher than themselves. They will examine. It's like, somebody real important comes to your house. The first thing you're going to think is can I offer you something? Can I? Now, someone will say, wow, Yaakov is really tripping on that guy not offering him any food. But my point is that I don't eat meat. And he was barbecuing, see? And I wanted to use it to open a door. I was praying he would, so it would open a door where I could witness to him and try to get him intrigued. But he didn't have it within him he was not aware of himself. He was not in the ability to examine himself. And it's a lot of people like that. Now, that goes for me too. There are areas where, I'm not sitting here saying I don't fail. I'm sitting here saying that I saw how I would look if our roles were switched. See, I let that situation teach me a lesson about when you have an opportunity to bless your brethren. To me, that's like finding the winning $1 trillion lottery ticket, if you ask me, because the Creator, it's like he has a registry, and if it's done in sincerity, then I think the Creator, he honors it. If you do it in sincerity, man, create your character. If we ever learn that lesson, man, if you ever learn that lesson, if we ever learn that lesson, we are home free above all the world. All the world, man. All the world. We have overcome the whole world. And so we shouldn't be surprised when the Creator talks about honor and glory to faithists and people who are like faithists, I'll say. Because they don't have to subscribe to, hey, I'm a faithist. Your character. Yahweh. All right. I don't know who you are, brother. I don't think I've ever seen you in a room before, but you most certainly welcome. If you come in peace. If you come in peace, brother, you are welcome to this channel. We talk about the OAHSPE Bible. I don't know if you know about it. You're welcome here, brother. We invite anybody who will come. Let me put the link in the room because I try to engage with brethren. I realize that some brethren, they come in and they have questions, or even if, okay. All right, the Brothers with Creator Gang. Okay, so he's already into the, he already is an OAHSPE brother. Hey, Bronze, Yogi, brother. I was rocking to your beat the other day. Video, I can't get over that, man. I love that video. That was really tight, man. You got talent, bro. So anyway, it's time for the reading of the word. Here's some, you can read what I got here. I guess I could scroll a little more because I like to try to share, these rooms here. If you go in the description link, I got links to other OAHSPE brethren, rooms on Facebook, their videos. And so, we're a community of brethren. A community of brethren who can subscribe to the OAHSPE. So let me just scroll a couple of things more. I don't think I can't find one of y'all, anybody, if you brethren know where that verse is at, where it talks about spirits spending 1,000 years in atmospheria, they could possibly spend 1,000 years in atmospheria. If anybody knows that verse, post it so I want to put that up on the screen. I was talking about it, how that's something that we should think about. A faithist should think about that, because I think it's easy. We could become Christian faithists. Christian faithists is where you pretty much just proclaim, you a faithist. And again, let me say this, from what I read in OAHSPE, you don't have to proclaim you're a faithist. You don't have to, there's a danger, I think, in trying to encapsulate the Creator. He seems to talk about people who are under that characteristic of basically being selfless. They may be faithists without even knowing it, And the Creator, I think he says something to that effect. If they're about faithist attributes, then they are his chosen. That's what he said. Because I think there's a fear for anytime you involve man, there's a danger of him trying to build his kingdom, his little kingdom, instead of the Creator's. And you read New OAHSPE where the false gods, they wanted their little kingdom, and the Creator, he said he gave it to them. He gave it to them. He said, but when you have your own kingdom, he gives you the good and the bad. You're responsible for your kingdom. See? So here's some things, that let me go a little faster because I'm ready to time for me to get to the reading of the word. I'm late as it is. So I do want to share some things that I like to share over the week that, during the week that come from the OAHSPE, things that I think brethren might like to read. So let me scroll a little bit more. Oh, here's something Dave posted. I didn't even see it. What is this? You were speaking about how some ladies like to live on the wild side. Here's a music video about that. Okay, let me see. Let me see. I hope it's not vulgar. Well, coming from Dave, I don't think it would be. I was talking, okay, now before I play, will I get in trouble if I play this? Anybody in the chat, if I play this video, will I get in trouble with YouTube? I've got to put the link in the room. Can somebody tell me real quick, would I get in trouble if I run this video? Is there some type of law against that? The brother submitted this video to me because I was talking about, I got on the subject of how there's a love of corruption and criminality in this reality. And a lot of it is women, who love that type of being under that vibration. Okay, I might. All right, I better not play it then. Thanks, Bronze. Yeah, I better not play it then. Man, you can do anything and get in trouble with YouTube. Thanks, brother. Yeah. Copyright violation maybe or something. Now, here's something I'm glad I found this, or I'm glad I'm bringing this up on the chat. Now, brethren, check this out. Something that I was talking about yesterday, I think, on the video. The OAHSPE says here that the New Year's Day would be in like June. Have y'all ever seen this? Anybody ever seen this? Oh, I got to share the tab. This verse right here. Has any brother ever seen that? Have you ever considered that? Look at this verse here. It says, behold, I've set this day apart as a new day. Now, is it just a one-time deal, maybe? Is he talking about a precept here? Is this something that is permanent? Look at this verse here. It says, behold, I've set this day apart. Check this out. It says, behold, I've set this day apart as a new day in heaven and earth. Now I'm jumping in the middle here. This verse here, I realize it's in the middle of a thought. But what I'm wanting to draw attention to is he says, I have set this day apart as a new day in heaven and earth, because on this day the sun takes its course from the north line. You know how the sun, it goes from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. You know, it goes from the northern hemisphere around June 22nd. It starts its descent, right? It's like it goes all the way up, and then the sun starts going down, you know, crosses the equator and goes into the south and brings about autumn and fall and, you know, winter and, well, autumn and fall, same thing. It says that the new year, it says when the sun takes its course from the north line, and then from this time forward shall be called New Year's Day. How do you like that? That means the spring equinox in June, or that's the beginning of summer, really. Am I understanding this correctly? That that's really the New Year's Day, beginning of summer? And then check it out. He says, so shall it be from this time forward. Okay, now, is he saying that it will be the New Year's Day from this time forward, or the day of relief watch in Horeb? See? Well, which one is he saying? Is it both? Is it one and not the other? You know what I mean? Does it sound like he's saying New Year's Day is June 21st, 22nd? He said on this day, he said on the day the sun takes its course from the north line. That means that when it get all the way up to the top, and then it come down, it start coming down, it gets all the way to the top, you know, at the end of spring. That's when it's at the highest in the sky, right? Then from that point on, it starts dropping down to the southern hemisphere. You know what I mean? But we were talking about that a couple. Hey, Jamia, sister. All right, man. Sister, good to see you. Jamia brought out an interesting verse too. She said she go from spring. And then she showed that verse where it said that spring is the beginning. And it was like an agricultural sense, I think, there. And here, I mean, almost like there's a couple of New Years, you know. Nazarene, brother, thank you for checking in, man. Thank you, brother. Good to see you. So I don't know. That's just something, you know, for brethren. You can chew on that. You know, I just think it's interesting. You know, the Creator, he gives a cosmological flavor to when the new year is, and an agricultural flavor as well, based off of what the sister posted. Oh, look here, man. We got the perfect brother in the room. I'm a snag this brother. I'm a snag him before he leave. Hey, Malachi, click on the link, brother. Click, is the link in the room? Let me catch you before you leave. Malachi, click on the link, brother. Is the link in the room? The link is in the room. Let me post it anyway. Malachi, can you hear me, bro? Catch you quick before you leave. Put the link in the room. See if I can snag the brother so I can ask him some questions. Put the link in the room. Hey, Malachi, click on the link, brother. If you're in the room, click on the link, Malachi. Let me see if I can catch you. Probably checked in and checked out. All right. Well, I'm talking. If you hear me, bro, if you busy, or if you can get free, if you can hear me, click on the link so I can ask you about ask you some questions. It's good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. All right. So anyway, I'm late for the reading anyway. So here's some more things that you can stop the video. You know, don't look at that Archibald thing. That's wrong. Sometimes AI gets it wrong, you know. So let me go ahead with the reading. I purpose to read the Saphah Prolog. Saphah Prolog is called. Saphah Prolog. And I just thought it was it'd make you think. We looked at it in the Bible study. I think we looked at it. Pretty sure we did. But let me see. Malachi says, oh, okay. Short legs. Short leggeds. He called his children short legs. That's funny, man. Okay, brother. Yeah, I just wanted to catch you before you took off. So you're the perfect brother to ask about that question. Okay, so let me see. Let me go ahead and share the book of Saphah Prolog. Now I'm introducing this so that brethren can think, so, we could think, I don't claim to have the answer to this, what I want to try to do is get brethren to come on the video and you just share what you think, that's the only way we're going to learn anything. And let me see. Saphah Prolog. Now may the Creator bless the reading of his word. Let me close the blind. I can't see the screen too well. Let me close the blind. Hold on a second. Okay. May the Creator bless the reading of this word. It says, now, again, this is, I have a take on it, but I could be wrong, but I want to share it in hopes that it might spark a discussion. Some brother who have overstanding on this that you come on and share. So that's why I'm bringing this out. It also, I'm hoping it'll make us think, So let me share it. May the Creator bless reading of his word. It's called Saphah Prolog. And it says, Saphah said, I am to perish. I, being Saphah, am of the perishable. I am of the earth's perishable history. I am the dying history, not dead. The legends, the skeleton of a one-time giant. In my youth, I was science and philosophy, religion. I reach unto all nations of the earth. Distance is nothing to me. I was a tree of life in time long past, the devotedly loved son of light. The fruit I had bore fed all inhabitants of the earth. But the flesh of the fruit has perished, yet the seed still lives. My soul is in languages, in rocks, and ruined walls, in fallen temples and buried cities. These are the remnants of my corporal body. In these, my last days, my remnants that were once the living members of my body shall come forth and speak their parting words in the newborn cosmon. Then it says, hear these words, my sons and daughters, all you who search for but do not find the list of ages past. I'm the book of the past of the perishable corporal world. So that's the reading right there. Now I'm opening it up for anybody who wants to give their overstanding on this. I mean, you don't have to be worried about whether you're right or wrong. Your overstanding is just as good as anybody else. And so whatever inspiration you're under, whatever it tell you that this means, that's just as valid as the most learned brother. So I'm going to just offer my opinion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offer my opinion, and then I'm going to ask AI, what does this mean? And at any time, you brethren can click on the link if you want to give your understanding, and you can share. So that's just, the link. Just click on the link. Now, going back up, it says, saphah, verse 1. Saphah said, I'm the parish. So if you're asking me, I mean, I'm trying to think of a verse, anything that I can, in the Bible, it says that knowledge shall perish. Matter of fact, I think I remember. Matter of fact, I think the Bible talks about how even knowledge shall, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Knowledge shall perish, King James Version. Now, I think this is one of the things that the Bible says. I think, I believe that is true, meaning the old way of doing things. I think that if you read the OAHSPE, I think it talks about, now I could be wrong, but haven't old ways and traditions been forgotten about and replaced with new ones? Can we say that? Now, this is not the verse I'm looking for. The verse I'm looking for, it says, my people are destroyed for lacking knowledge, because I was rejecting knowledge, I will reject thee. Okay, so that's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for the one in the New Testament. I think it says knowledge shall fade away or something like that. So let me try it again. My point is, in the first verse of saphah, it says that I am to perish. So I'm trying to establish that one of the things that will perish is knowledge. Let me try again. Knowledge shall fade away, King James Version. Okay, 1 Corinthians. It says, charity never faileth, all right? But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. So it's talking about things that remain and things that do not. And knowledge is something that shall vanish away. Now, I believe that this is a faithful principle to the OAHSPE, that knowledge, I know the OAHSPE, the creator, he talks about there are things that must be done away with in order for the new to come, meaning even the knowledge of them. And then look at this. Who let that brother in the room? Who let him in, man? Daryl Cosman, man. Who in the hell let that brother in the room, man? Tired of him coming up and blowing up the room, man. Hey, brother. Actually, shoot, man. Now I'm going to grab you. I'm putting a question out there talking about the book of saphah. Actually, we had a question earlier that I guess I should go ahead and bring that to your attention now and see if you want to comment on it. We looked at a verse. Let me see if I can get it back. And see if you want to just listen, that's cool too, brother. I don't want to put you on the spot. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to let you know I appreciate you. If you want to just chill and hang out, that's cool too. I don't want to really put anybody on the spot. I just appreciate y'all coming around. That's all I'm trying to say. So, but let me show you this verse in case you or somebody else want to comment on it. Let me find it real quick. Where is that verse now? Okay, here it is right here. Now, this verse here, it says the New Year's Day. It says without going into the context, it says, behold, I have set this day apart as the new day in heaven and earth. It says, because on this day, the sun takes its course from the north line. That happens in June, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, man. Don't it start like, okay, don't the sun, it's at the top, right? In the spring equinox, right? It's at its highest in the sky, right? From there, it starts going down to the southern hemisphere, right? Right? And so here it says that, now, I could be wrong. It says, behold, I've set this day as a new day in heaven and earth. See there? Because on this day, the sun takes its course from the north line. And then it says, from this time forward, it shall be called New Year's Day. See? Now, Jamia, she brought out a verse where it pointed to the spring as the beginning. See? Which was very interesting. Now, is it two New Year's Day? Or is it pointing to separate overstanding? You know what I mean? It says, so shall it be from this time forward, the day of the relief watch in Horeb. So it's like the day of the relief watch. It's called a New Year's Day. And it happens when the sun is up way up top and it starts its descent. And that happens on June 21st, 22nd, right? That's the spring equinox, right? So it's something for you, brethren. If you have some overstanding on it, appreciate if you share it. You don't have to. If you're just coming in to hang out, that's cool too. Just appreciate y'all checking in like that. Really bless it, brother. So I'm going to go back to what I was talking. Another question that I'm posing also is, okay, somebody's in. Okay, hold on a second. Let me bring him in. Oh, okay, Prince, brother. Purple rain, brother.
That boy said purple rain. What's going on with you, big brother? Salute, peace, and all light to you from the Creator, man.
Oh man, I'm glad that, hey man, send some of that weather out here. Those thunderstorms.
It's nice. It's nice out here, man. Right now, the moon is full. Look at the dark cloud.
Send some of that rain and wind too, okay?
Yeah, man. It's been nice. It's been it ain't been raining much lately though. That storm passed. We was in Hurricane Debbie for a second, they said.
Man,
but it's
y'all getting left right to the max, ain't y'all?
Yeah, man.
Ernesto and Debbie and don't let Daryl talk, because
salute, big bro Daryl.
Y'all clowning, man.
Salute to the whirlwind, yes, sir.
How my brothers doing?
All right, man.
Yeah, it's all good. I ain't gonna be too long, man. But I wanted to come in and share this with you because I've seen that verse that you just pulled up, and then I also seen the verse that Amia pulled up in my experience with reading OAHSPE. And honestly, man, I'm very confused by that. Because ever since I read OAHSPE back in the early millennium, I had been under the impression that spring is the new year. Spring day is the new year because that's when things start to be reborn. But seeing that verse that says that when the sun is at the northern line, that's the New Year's Day. That's summer. That's when the northern hemisphere points toward the sun. But things are already, by the time summertime hit, things are kind of at their, in the cycle of life. It's okay. So birth would be spring, but then summer would be more like that. like the where life. I don't want to say where life begins, but it started more like when you at your prime or something. And then fall represents, when you going on your descent, and then winter represents the death, barrenness. So that's why I was always under the impression that spring was New Year.
Me too.
I would like to. I would like to get. I honestly would like to get our insight from the other brothers too, to see what, especially Silas Shalom, because I know he studied that.
I probably know for sure.
Yeah, he studied it more. So I'm really not the best to speak on it, but I've just been under the impression that when spring starts, that's when the new year is.
Right. But if that is the case, then the relief watch of the was it the second resurrection angels? That relief watch would be at that point, whatever the new year would be. I was thinking in my mind that would be the time of the relief.
Yeah, it's just say the relief watch in Horeb. He says that when the sun takes his course from the north line, and from this time forward, it shall be called the New Year's Day. And
yeah, that's weird, man. But I guess, if that's what it was. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm reading from it's book 5, Sethantes, and it says, so it's when the sun takes his course from the north line. Now I'm thinking, I could be wrong, because I'm thinking that when it gets to the top of I might be describing this wrong. But
which book are you reading that from? You said it's in the book of Sethantes.
This is chapter 12, Sethantes, book 5.
They mentioned that again. It's mentioned again in maybe I think the book of Inspiration, where I believe God he was revealing a couple of holy times, and where the angels of the higher heavens have, they're in alignment with the times and seasons of the Creator, and certain things manifest in those times. And it's in the book of Inspiration somewhere, but it mentions that at the New Year's equinox, or the spring equinox, that I thought it said spring equinox, but that's what I'm saying. In this one, it's in Sethantes, it's saying a different.
It's saying a different. Yeah, there might be. I don't know, man. We might have to check the. We might have to check to see, man, because them sound like a couple of contradictions right there, man. So we got to find it. We got to get to the bottom of that right there, because that's a good point. That's a good point he brings. That's something that's something that we need to investigate further.
Righteous.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. Now, is the north line, is that like all the way up top, or is it like no, it can't be the equator. I was getting ready to say
the sun. Okay, so the sun doesn't rise directly east all year long. It moves along.
Right.
It rises from like northeast to like southeast, back to northeast. That way. So we don't we need to investigate, what it means to rise on the northern line. When does that begin? What it means to rise on the southern line, when does that begin? That's what we need to investigate. Because, like I said, despite the OAHSPE saying that, that the new year is in the beginning of what we call summer, I matched it up with like I said before, I matched it up with the cycles, with the life cycle, because our life cycle is much more is a lot similar to the earth cycles, or the cycles of the seasons, because you got your spring, which is your birth, you got your summer, which is your maturity. Okay. That also represents that represents maturity. Then you get fall, which represents your corporeal declension.
Right.
And you have the winter, which is the death, which is a season of death, where that means nothing grows. It's everything dead. So then when you got your spring, everything is being born. So you would think that the spring would be, if you line up our cycles with the earth cycle, you would think that the spring would be the new year.
Right.
And so, because it even gives it to you, I believe in Book of Jehovah, it tells you that I don't know it. I don't know it in order, but you got Simu, Hotu,
Right.
Adu, Ha'ak. I think Ha'ak is one of those is death, either Ha'ak or
I think it is how.
yeah,
Right.
Ha'ak. Yeah,
Darkness.
yeah, but you get the Simu, the Adu, the Ha'ak, the Hotu, all that. It gives it all to you in the Book of Jehovah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not in front of my computer right now, so I can't pinpoint anything, but yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm good. I'm done.
Okay, so the north line, because the Earth is it's what? It's on like an elliptical rotation, right? So the north line, it would be like saying like how do you describe it? Like as in north to south. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't. The north line would be talking about like straight north to straight south, because the axis, the Earth rotates on its axis on this
Right.
rotation, right? So we can't use like the analogy of like straight north down to south, right? Or forget it. You know, I at least
I see what you're saying though, because the Earth has been on its axis. It's not straight north and south. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. That makes sense.
I
was gonna say something because this is all high science that we dealing with in OAHSPE, so it's not like no light information dealing with that. But one thing that I will say that's just a funny story. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to divert, but it's still on subject. But my niece the other day, we went to was that today? No, that might be yesterday. We went to a farmer's market out here in South Carolina, and they had a bunch of vendors and stuff out there. Hold on real quick. And out of nowhere, my little niece, she looked up in the sky and she said, "Uncle, why does the earth spin, and why does the sun spin, and why is everything?" She literally asked me that, and I was so I was so happy to be able to give her an answer concerning how the Creator creates worlds, planets, corporeal stars, and moons.
Hey man, how old is your niece?
When I tell you, that girl got to be about 6, 7 years old. Literally, yo. She is 6 years old. She asked me that straight up. Why is the earth spinning and why is the moon spinning around the earth? I said, actually, the earth is rotating around the sun in a vortex. So yeah, that was just cool. And she just, huh?
A 6-year-old.
Yes, sir. 6 years old, man, wondering about the vortex and why things are spinning and in rotation. And all I could tell her, baby, that's how Creator creates. He uses rotation. And her brother's a little bit older than her. So I told him, and even you, because they had been having an odd conversation prior to this about colors too, which was funny. She gonna tell me, "Uncle, the kids at my school said the color red is sus." That's a slang word for suspect, right? These kids, man, they funny, man. They funny, boy.
The girl's 6 years old.
And so I tell her, I said, "Hey," and so I ended up telling her that even the color spectrum is rotating, oscillating in waves that you can measure. And that's just how the Creator is doing things, and as he's moving his ever-present virtue and presence, so that's just a praise report, that even the babies even though we over here trying to figure it out too, these 6 years old trying to figure it out. How does this spinning and where's the sun at the North Point,
Man, I don't think I've ever heard a 6-year-old ask a question like that.
Oh man, she literally asked me that just out of nowhere, man. Tapping my shoulder, said, "Hey, why is it spinning?" That's so funny.
Don't around here, man.
I said, "Uncle trying to figure it out too, baby. I'm trying to figure out how it's doing it too." But all I can say is all praise to the ever-present, unfathomable, great Spirit.
goodness, man. Please don't bring her around here, man, because she'll blow this up.
Oh man, she on her way, boy. I'm definitely trying to put her in that trajectory for sure.
Wow, man.
But yeah, man, I just want to share. I got to get ready to get I got a friend coming from out of state, so I'm trying to get my car cleaned out so I can get their luggage and stuff in here.
Oh man, I appreciate you checking in, man. I really.
Oh man, salute to you, big brother. It's always love and light coming from your channel, man. I always get to learn and elevate with you and the family and the brothers in the peace of the Creator, man. I just want to say thank you for doing what you do in Creator's Light. Salute.
Hey, brother, she bless you, man. We just trying to make it. That's all.
Oh, we gonna make it. Creator gonna keep us in motion. That's righteous.
That's
all right,
right.
man. I'll talk to y'all in a minute. Bless up. Peace of the check.
Okay, bless up, brother.
Yes,
oh, wow, man. That was great, man. Brothers checking in. I know they're going to come up with something with that verse in, what was it, Sidantes? The North Line and the New Year's Day. And I can't wait to hear the answer to that. So I know that's going to get out there. So, and just like that, man, that's the end of the video. The time went that fast. So I'm going to go ahead and just run through, just do a little quick run through. Book of Inspiration, saphah, or not inspiration, this is the wrong, where is it? Saphah. Title of the video is this right here, Prolog. Now, what I was going to say, I'm going to just have to go ahead and come out with, because I looked at it before I stopped to bring it out, make the video on it. So I'm just give my the overstanding that I had on it. I wanted to go and ask AI what it thought that this was saying, and hoping that it would provide us with some type of, I like to use AI to help me give me a starting point, some type of starting point, and then I can edit the information myself. But now one of the things I was going to point out is that when it talks like it says, Saphah said, I am the perish, I being Saphah am of the perishable. And then I went to that verse in 1 Corinthians where it says that one of the things that it talks about as perishable is knowledge. And so I was going to digress on what I think that was, just kind of expand on that as one of the things that I think applies to, I think knowledge is what Saphah is referring to, that like, let's say if I read verse 1, I said, knowledge said, I am to perish. I do that sometimes where I'm reading. I just try to translate the words. I try to, make it easier to understand. It says, I being knowledge am of the perishable. I am of the earth's perishable history. And so it's, again, I would say, if you were to ask me, I would think it refers to our knowledge of things. And then I was going to go on to say how I think the Creator, He gives us knowledge. He gives us reality. I was going to read this whole thing, and let me scroll it again. And I was going to propose that the Creator is saying in this account that He gives us knowledge of things so that we may shape our character for that which is eternal. Because as He kind of gives us breadcrumbs to the throne, keeps us wondering, He keeps us searching, He keeps us inquiring. And we look at history, we learn from that, we learn prophecy, we learn cosmogony, and it keeps us in a state of wonder. And that leads us eventually to the Creator, to the throne of the Creator. It keeps leading, the Creator, and make a long story short, I think this here book here is telling us how He keep us coming. He keep us coming to Him. Verse 5, it says, in my youth, I was science and philosophy and religion. And you're looking at a world where people, they dig into these things, And the problem is that, why don't it lead you to glorify the Creator? Why don't it lead you to, break and say, you know what, we need to hit the reset button, man, and then just start grabbing brethren who have the anointing on them to seek the Creator and put them in charge, man, so that they can tell us what to do. Now, I know all that sounds kooky. I'm just trying to say how I understand the saphah prologue. It says, I reach into all nations of the earth. Distance is nothing to me. I was as a tree of life in time long past, the devotedly loved son of light. The fruit I bore fed all the inhabitants of the earth, but the flesh of the fruit is perished, yet the seed is still alive. Okay, so again, I'm thinking that basically it's like the Creator is saying, I feed your mind. I feed your mind. You keep searching. I give you answers. It bless you. You want some more to eat? I give you some more to eat. You come back for more. I give you more. I bring you, and in the process, I make you elevate. I make you become a different person without you even really. It's like when a baby grows, one day to another, and you don't really see the baby growing, but you know what I mean? You take pictures every day, and if you were to look at the first picture and then look at the picture that you take 15 years, you see, you bound to see the difference. We might not see it, but the Creator, he's saying that we are changing. As we keep reading and wondering and asking questions, and really it's verifying the reality of the Creator. And that separates us from the world. It's like, verse 9, it says, my soul is in languages and rocks and ruined walls and fallen temples and buried cities. These are remnants of my corporal body. So, testimony. My soul is in languages, in rocks, ruined walls. And to me, is saying this is like proof. These things are proof. Buried cities. I mean, I could be wrong, man. I'm just trying to share, what I think is saying. In these my last days, my remnants that were once the living members of my body shall come forth and speak their parting words to the newborn cosmos. So it could, I don't know. Is he saying that history, archaeologically, or archaeology, that they will give witness to the truth of the Creator? He's going to do it. He's going to speak. Truth is going to bear witness in these last days. My remnants that were once the living members of my body shall come forth and speak their parting words to the newborn cosmos. And, it makes me think that, the last remnants of the deception of the Bible is coming out. I mean, it's coming out. The exposure of the Bible is an incredible thing to me. I mean, maybe not to you. You brethren are pretty seasoned, But I mean, call me kooky, but I think that that's what we witnessing. I think it's the most devastating thing up to this point in the history of man. And it helps me to understand how I'll never forget that one sister that told me, when I was asking about Pluto going into Aquarius. Oh, hey, bro, that's all right, man. That's all right, brother. I'm just glad you checked in. I know you're going to look into that. I'm looking forward to hear what y'all conclusion is. So I'm getting ready to wrap it up, brother. Thanks for checking in, brother. Thanks for all of y'all checking in. I appreciate all of y'all. And whoever sees this video too. I just want to let you know. So I'll never forget what that sister told me, man. I mean, it was one of them things that sometimes people tell you things and you don't get it till like way later. And this was one of those things. Well, it wasn't way, way, way later. But I asked her to explain Pluto going into Aquarius in like 2022. I was trying to get the understanding. She said, brother, it's going to because she knew about these things. There's a name for people who astrophysicists or something like that, or they know the planets and astrology and all that. And she said, brother, it's a time where people are going to have to move. She said it's a time where Pluto Pluto going into it. Let me put it on the screen because I want to put this on the screen for the video. What will happen when Pluto goes into Aquarius in January 2024? Okay, Pluto's, matter of fact, look at this. I didn't know this. It said Pluto's moving in Aquarius from January 20 to September. Okay. It's going to go in, it's in now. It's going to go till September. And then it's going to come out again. And then it's going to go, I think in November it's going to come out and then it's go back in and stay there until 2043. Now that's interesting because 2049 is a harvest year. 2049 is a harvest year. Look at here. Pluto and Aquarius is bringing more unprecedented times. And this is what all of them say. The people who they study these things. Now, I wouldn't subscribe to everything, I mean, they, I don't think that they really put a they put a different type of flavor on this overstanding. But spiritually, I think the Creator is talking and he's saying it's the end of the kingdom of man, that he's bringing it to a conclusion. And if you want confirmation, I think he's showing you in the events of the world today. But that sister told me, she said, it's a time when people are going to have to move. And she didn't even fully know what she was saying. Because what she meant, people are going to have to get up off of Christianity. That's what she meant. And she didn't even know it. She said all she knew was that people was going to have to move. And that's definitely the situation today. And I personally, I think the information has been here a long time that the Creator was going to expose the beast kingdom. I think that information has been, the OAHSPE has been out there, but it seems like with the advent of Pluto going into Aquarius, now it seems like the Creator is saying, I'm going to put emphasis on what I'm saying. Now I'm going to put emphasis on it. And so you brethren coming out with this information, it seems to be a palpable vibration on breath. I mean, one of the things I point to is, I don't know. I can't. That's only my little reality. But I think the Creator is just plain and simple showing us the undressing of the Bible and religion. To me, is unprecedented. And people are going to have to move. And they ain't going to be able to. I've already witnessed it. Well, that's the end of my video. Man, what a great thank you, Creator, for them brethren coming in and all the brethren here looking at this video. And I pray that you anoint it to your glory. Creator, thank you for these brethren. Bless them with peace, love. Bless them with endurance. Bless them with all good things, with knowledge, with wisdom, with understanding, with protection, with love for one another. The children that they are raising up, anoint the children to become Iesu, the children who the knowledge is going to fall on their shoulders to carry the torch generation after generation. Thank you for these brethren coming in and blessing my soul, Creator. And brethren, thank you for joining me. And Creator willing, Monday, no video tomorrow, and Sunday. Thank you, brethren, for joining me. And Lord willing, I'll see you. Creator willing, I'll see you Monday. And until then, peace, love, light, understanding, and wisdom to all of you. Shalom.